Hi TransByDef, it's Jenna. Checking in and wanted to fill in on the topic of the week, even though I'm a little bit late. And I guess the subject for this week is the hormones, which is one of the ones that I asked Kathy to revisit. But before I get to that, there's a couple things I'd like to talk about. One being our past video on Bruce Jenner, and I have really strong feelings about Miss Jenner because of the Kardashian stuff and that family and all the drama, and pretty much as much as I hope that Miss Jenner finds the place of comfort that we all look for, it turns out that there's a $5 million TV show expressing that. And she's entitled to put that show together. I think Diane Sawyer knew that show was in the underworks, and that's why it was a 2-hour program to do the outing of Bruce Jenner. That pretty much it is what it is at this point, and I'll reserve my opinion other than till I told you so. I wish Bruce the best. Financially, I hope the show's a disaster, because I think we were misled as a community, but I know that that's going to be viewed as a negative on my part, and like I said, I've always been entitled to my opinion, and I will hold to that. When it comes to switching pages, when it comes to being a role model for our community, Michelle Henley, the real-life transgender star of Boy Meets Girl, video that was music, the movie that was put together by Eric Schaefer, that is a standalone piece of people that we should be watching and following into the future. I wish Michelle the best in everything that comes her way. Finally, the media is starting to get it, that they use us for their, for their videos, because we bring so much more of real life. I've watched the movie a couple times now, and I have a hard time separating, which is a good thing, separating myself or Michelle from the character of Ricky. I think we all, any of us that have gone through a transition, recognize that position and can relate real closely. So for Eric Schaefer, thumbs up. Michelle Henley, all the success in life that we could wish for one of our own. And this week's topic, not to be forgotten, one that's dear to my heart, is hormones in transitioning, and specifically what I want to talk about, not so much the regimen that ends up being prescribed by a doctor or the one that you prefer or what you're most comfortable with, is for me it was the use of non-prescription herbals. There's a whole lot of herbal stuff out there that is suggested for our use that I think the medical community sees as a problem. If you've gone for surgery these days, and they know that you are transgender, there's a shopping list of what are you doing that's homeopathic or herbal remedies that are being used outside, whether they be herbals or something done by a doctor that would be doing homeopathic stuff that's not in the pharmaceutical range. And I can share some things from my own personal experience going through transition that they're humical. They're definitely what I would not suggest somebody to do. Today I use after everything was said and done and the dust cleared, I recognize the significance of using a doctor that is very well versed in caring for transsexuals. People that have gone through a transition, people that are on hormones. I think it's really, important to have a good doctor, endroclinologist, that will help you, guide you through this journey in a fashion that will safely keep you from hurting yourself. Looking back at my early transition, at the very beginning, desperate people do desperate things, and one of the things I did was searching out these sites that would give me, that no one was professional, by the way, that would give me recommended dosages of salt, palmetto, and every kind of phytoestrogen that you could think of to help you achieve results. I will tell you that when I fully was involved in beginning the process of transition, that I was taking 32 different capsules of dust of some sort or another put into a capsule that was supposed to help block androgens and increase your phytoestrogens. And that is the biggest pile of malarkey that has ever been put on someone. To be honest, I remember pulling down to the end of my driveway, because we had a really long driveway. We lived up a mountainside. And I remember pulling down one morning to take my daily dosage, and I had a cup of coffee with me. And I coughed after taking these 32 capsules of everything you could think of that was going to increase my breast size and help me transition. I coughed dust out. And looking back at that should have been a really significant thing to look at, as far as, nah, this isn't the right way to go. And I changed shortly after. But looking back at that, somebody that could have been talked into doing, maintaining a regimen of these homeopathic, using herbals to help you transition. There's a whole lot of other risk that goes with that, and most people have not done the homework. Hi, Lynn. Those people have not done the homework of ensuring your health. They'd like to sell you their homeopathic herbal remedies, but there's no case studies on that stuff that shows that it works. Now, that they do work in a function. Otherwise, when you go to a surgery or to have a surgery after being hormones or anything else, they want to know what you've been on, because those natural, we'll call them a drug, for in this instance, those natural drugs or herbals do have an effect. The Chinese used them 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. So there is definitely an impact on the body. So if you're trying to affect the transition and you're thinking of doing it through over-the-counter herbals, you really need to not talk to somebody that's prescribing that stuff to you or giving you levels or dosages of it, but you need to talk to an endocrinologist that's going to monitor whatever you put into your system, whether it's herbals, it's oral, it's injectable. You want somebody that's going to be looking at your body and what you're doing and your chemistry. And those people will tell you what's right and what's wrong. So, just wanted to check in tonight. Again, to wrap up, don't do hormones. Don't do what I did. Don't do hormones or any kind of over-the-counter herbal remedies to help you ease your transition without the help of a professional in blood work. Again, Bruce, you all know what my feelings are on Bruce are, and Michelle Hendley, and if you haven't seen Boy Meets Girl by Eric Schaefer, it is probably one of the best independent movies that's been put out to date. I would like to really get Michelle on here for an interview, but she's quickly being picked up as a professional, and I have a feeling that her agent would allow for her to do something like that. So, at any rate, catch Boy Meets Girl. It's available on Amazon, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Peace. Say goodnight, Puma. Say goodnight. Good night, all. Be well. Thanks. Bye.